make it one of the most diverse chapters of the NAACP in the country. And I'm here to tell you, in Mitchell County, we now have a chapter nearly 300 members. And then they said about 9:30, 9:45, but the next day we were headed to Asheville for the first MORE Monday outside of Raleigh. And I thought we might get 400 people, 500 people. 10,000 people showed up in Asheville following this 5-point moral agenda in Asheville, less than 3% black. They said, we'll meet you in Africa, but we want you to do something now. I said, what? They said, we want you to march with us on the Tea Party candidate, the Tea Party legislature's house, the one that we sent up there, but he lied to us, and we're going to put him out of office. And I said, wait a minute, white people. I'm all into this marching stuff, but y'all started that marching at night. We march in the daytime. I said, we ain't marching at night. I sure enough, I said, but you call one in the daytime, and call the media, and call the SBI, and the FBI, and everybody else, and we'll march. They said, we'll do that, Reverend Barber. I'm telling you, it worked. I was in Iredell County, which is every elected official up there, almost a Republican. We had a MORE Monday there, 400 or 500 people short. I was speaking like I'm speaking now. A lady that looked like our time girl, real beautiful with a gray hair. I'm in the middle of talking. She said, Reverend Barber, can I have the mic? Now, black preachers aren't used to folk. I mean, we're used to folks saying amen, but we're not used to folk just taking the mic. She said, I'm 84 years old, I got something to say. I said, okay. So she said, my family 9 generations deep in North Carolina. My great-great-great-granddaddy was a Republican. He used to stand in the door of the voting booth making sure that people didn't turn black people around. And I'm sick and tired of these extremists calling themselves Republican and messing up my granddaddy's party. And in fact of the matter, I went to jail up there with you, Reverend Barber. You may not know me as one of the thousands. I went to jail. I'm ready to go back again. And the next time they question you about welfare, tell them come see me because I'm welfare queen number 1. I love my Social Security and everything else I get. We can build a MORE movement. As I close, seriously, there are only 2 ways. One is the road to the immoral deconstruction. The other is the moral pathway to reconstruction. One road is filled with greed, the other road is full of grace. One road is hate, the other road is love. We've got to build a coalition where labor folk will stand up for public education. And public education people will stand up for labor rights. And whites will speak out against racism. And black people will speak up for the ways in which women are hurt. And gay people will speak out against for access to health care. And wealthy people and people that are advocates for health care will stand up for gay people, where we understand our inescapable mutuality. In America right now, say your neighbor right now, we must come together to fight against the dangerous agenda of extremist laws by these ultra-conservative extremists. We must come together now because we're in the middle of this reconstruction and we cannot let it be undone. It is extreme and it's mighty low to cut Medicaid expansion for millions of people who are blind, disabled, and poor, and children. It's extreme and mighty low to say that poor people are lazy and that helping them gives them a hammer to lay in like Congressman Ryan recently did. It's extreme to treat people like things and corporations like people. It's extreme not to pay workers a living wage when CEOs make 1,000 times more than the average worker. It's extreme. It's extreme. And mighty low for people who get the best health care in the world because they're elected to Congress, turn around and not allow the people that elected them to have the same health care. It's extreme. It's extreme to push millions of children off their parents' insurance. It's extreme to end unemployment benefits for people who've lost their jobs with no fault of their own. It's low down. It's mighty extreme to resegregate our schools and attack teachers and try to charterize our public schools. It's extreme. It's mighty low. It's mighty low to raise taxes on the working poor and cut taxes on the greedy rich. It's extreme and mighty low that America has the dubious distinction right now of being the wealthiest country and the poorest country all at the same It's mighty low for people to sing America, America. God shed his grace on you with one breath and then denied grace to workers and grace to laborers and grace to people and grace to women and grace to the LGBT community. It's extreme and it's mighty low. Republican David Stockman, Reagan budget director, called trickle-down theory voodoo economics. It's extreme, it's mighty low. They go back. When Cantor, who called for closing down the government, repealing health care, can be considered too moderate to be elected by extremists, I'm telling you, our moral compass is all set up. When they attack the first lady for wanting children to have fruits and vegetables, we are in a fight, a moral fight. This fight is not about Republican and Democrat. Not about liberal versus conservative. It's about right versus wrong. It's about extremism versus the more noble visions of our Constitution. It's about policies that are immoral versus policies that are moral. And I believe in my heart that if we come together, if we realize how strong we are, we can save the soul of this democracy. We can beat back the influence of immoral money. We can cleanse the veins of the nation from the poisonous intoxication of Tea Party division. We can move this nation a little closer to being a more perfect union. There is higher ground where we can feed the hungry. There is higher ground where we can heal the sick. There is higher ground where we can give workers living wages. There is higher ground where we can educate every child. There is higher ground where we can reject hate and division and mean attempts to write people out of their constitutional protection. There is higher ground. I believe it with my heart. No matter what governor is in office, there's higher ground. No matter what the Congress does, there's higher ground. No matter what the Tea Party does, there's higher ground. The Koch brothers can spend all the money they want, but they cannot buy our soul. There is higher ground. Somebody say higher ground. That's what we deserve. Is there anybody in here that still believes in higher ground? Oh, when I think about Megan's death today, too many tears have been cried. Too many people have sacrificed, bled, and died for us to settle for anything other than higher ground. Our politics can be merciful, can be kind, can be fair. We must declare this land is your land, and this land is my land, higher ground. We must refuse to live low down. We must refuse to accept anything but higher ground. We must refuse to believe the myth of domination and the falsehood of inequality. We are better than meanness in America. We are better than domination. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Tell your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, it's time to go a little deeper. And it's time to work a little harder. And it's time to organize a little better. Tell your neighbor, it's movement time. Can I preach like I would down south? Slap your neighbor a high five and tell him it's movement time. I'm going to my seat, but let me tell you, my son is an environmental physicist. And every now and then he tells me things about the environment. And he told me, he said, Daddy, you're doing a lot of traveling now. And don't tell him where you might end up. He says, if you ever get stranded out in the mountainous territory, he said, if you gotta make your way home, he says, don't hike out along the bottom edge of the mountain. I said, why not? He said, because snakes live in the low country. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying? He said, Daddy, it might seem rough, but before you try to hike out, go up, climb up the mountain. And he said, if you go high enough up the mountain, you'll get to a place called, it's above the snake line. It says biologists know about it because it's high, because snakes can't live at high altitude. They turn over and asphyxiate above the snake line. He said, you gotta rise above the snake line. And I'm telling you, it's our time to take America above the snake line. There's some snakes out here. When you want to hurt poor people, that's snake-like. When you want to crush hurting people, that's snake-like. It's time to take America above the snake line. Justice is above the snake line. Paying for the right is above the snake line. Fairness is above the snake line. More square is above the snake line. We all take somebody above the snake line. And I heard that if you try to get above the snake line, you get help from another quarter. You get help from another sphere. I heard that the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Have you heard that? I've heard they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings as eagles. They shall run and not get weary. I heard if God be for us, it doesn't matter who's against us. I heard that one can chase 1,000 and two can chase 10,000. I heard greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. I heard when I was lying flat on my back and the doctor said I'd never walk again, that the Lord I serve is a healer because he meant for me to live above the snake line. I heard that the Lord is my light and my salvation. Do I have a witness here? I heard that God can pick you up and turn you around and plant your feet on higher ground. I heard weeping may endure for a night, but I stopped by to tell you what we face now is not worse than anything we've already faced. Women face the not having the right to vote, but you won. We face slavery, but we won. We face Jim Crow, but we won. So that means it's still true. Weeping may endure for a night. Tea parties may endure for a night. Extremism may endure for a night. But joy still comes in the morning. So I stopped by MORE2 to ask you to join with me in singing, I'm pressing on. The upward way, new heights I'm gaining every day. Still praying as I'm onward bound. Lord, plant our feet on higher ground. Lord, plant our feet on higher ground. Lord, lift us up and let us stand by faith on Canaan's tableland, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant our feet on higher ground. Plant Washington, D.C. on higher ground. Plant Missouri on higher ground. Plant Kansas City on higher ground. Lord, plant our politics on higher ground. Lord, plant this nation on higher ground.
The upward way, new heights I'm gaining every day, still praying and I'm freedom bound. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. We're pressing on.